Welcome back, people of the internet, to the Deplorable Batcave podcast. I'm your host, Spartacus, and once again, it is my job to bring you political news and other bullshit from around the internet and the world. Joining me today are ever lovely returning guests, Blippity Blop.
Howdy ho.
Seawall.
We mainly report on bullshit, complete total honesty right here.
Yeah, we are not hashtag fake news. We report on fake news, but we don't make fake news. Wanders in.
I got stopped by a feminist.
And
Concerned.
Yes, it is me, collectively unconscious. Groovy man.
Yes.
We should also note our spectators, Uncle Art, Miss Malevolent, and let's see. Go ahead, Spark.
To your face.
And yes, we can't forget our spectators.
Oh, and Steph just got back. Introduce yourself, Steph.
I'm a med student. Hello, world.
Oh, patriarchy! Good. Oh, good. If any of us have a seizure or an aneurysm, you'll know what to do.
I mean, the Deplorable Batcave does have a high quantity of AIDS.
Well, no, we have cancer. Get it right.
It's cancer.
Autism got it.
Got the results back. It's definitely breast cancer.
No, it's lupus.
All right, but today we have a few topics, some more serious than others, some cringeworthy, some horrific, but maybe we can get some headway done into this insane world that we now live in. Starting off, we have yet another somber topic to begin, and we're going to talk about the attacks in Syria today. So, with that said, we had, I believe, sarin gas attacks in Syria, which, as most of the world knows, is currently a Third World War-torn hellhole. So, yeah, this does not bode well for local property values. With that said, I yield the floor to the Batcave. Big end discussion.
So,
go for it, man.
So supposedly the Syrian government attacked its own citizens with camera. Let me. I'll get to it.
Okay.
But Russia has said that no, the Syrian government has not done this, but yet it was another attack, I would assume.
It could be. If ISIS fell across any of the chemical weapons that we sold to Saddam Hussein, which we still haven't accounted all of them, they could have done an attack to blame it on the Russians or the government. Or it could be the Russians.
Or they could just be, garden variety terrorists from ISIS who think killing lots of people somehow makes people like them more. I don't know.
Well, that's to be doing the job in Europe.
Well, it's
throw my 2 cents of the matter. The world in the beginning of this particular crisis were head over heels over romanticizing the rebel factions and toppling Assad, without realizing that in many cases they're even worse. Now, that's not to say that Assad wouldn't use such weapons. I have no doubt that he would quite happily use them. It's just that if the UN are coming out and saying, no, it wasn't Assad who was the rebels, and they seem hell-bent on blaming the Russians and toppling Assad themselves, then it must be genuine.
Yeah. The argument for the ISIS using it, you could say that it's similar to them, like to Hamas in Israel launching rockets from hospitals and stuff, but they are willing to attack their own people if it wins them a PR victory. I mean, since Vietnam, that's been a thing.
This was a nerve gas called sarin gas. Most people will know of it from the Tokyo subway incident. It was about a dozen or so dead, a couple hundred injured.
I found a relevant article as well. Hold on, posting.
Yes. I'll open it up just so we have it available on the video.
Oh, the bastion of truth.
Oh.
I know.
Well, Ugh.
Very fake news.
Yeah, it could
Sorry,
very well be.
I see manufacturing and using chemical weapons and U.S. official claims. Yeah.
The bullshit-o-meter is
At what?
Spiking.
30%?
It's spiking, actually, considering we have, one, it's the independent. Two, we have a quotation of manufacturing and using chemical weapons. And it's supposedly being said by a U.S. official.
Oh, and it's on NewsHour PBS.
But they are saying that ISIS is doing it, not Assad, so I'm a little bit more willing to listen to it.
Well, this article is also a couple years, 2.5 years old.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, let's see how old the PBS was. July 18th, 2015, so...
Yeah. Old news. Old news. How dare you? We're reporting on old news now.
Hey, if they manufactured it and they're on their last death throes, maybe they're just using it now.
Well, aren't certain nerve agents basically you have to make them and then immediately use them?
I'm not a chemist, so I can't say for sure. Unless there's some kind of last stage catalyst, then I guess you could have the mixture almost ready to go and just then finish it later.
Yeah.
Or perhaps there's various means of storing for long term.
Yeah, I seem to recall watching a documentary about World War II and them finding shells that possibly contained, was it mustard gas or whatever?
On the sarin Wikipedia, according to the CIA, some Iraqi sarin had a shelf life of only a few weeks, owing mostly to impure precursors along with nerve agents such as basically sarin can have, under ideal circumstances, a shelf life of 5 years, which is unlikely that they have ideal conditions for these. So I would think more than likely they probably have had these things for about a year, maybe.
So the timeline does fit that.
A couple of years if they know what they're doing.
So the timeline fits according to this. Because
also, I just found a more legitimate, if you consider the New York Times to be not a former newspaper, article where they used chemical arms at least 52 times. So I'll link that again. And also, AK had a question. I saw it right after I linked it.
Let's see. What's the question? Does anyone know exact nature of the chemical weapon?
No, that was later. Have there been any abnormal records, purchases to make the sarin gas? How would we have access to them?
Yeah.
We're not that good.
Almost certainly be classified.
Also, you can't just order sarin gas pre-made. They order various chemicals, and if they're smart, they would be doing it through a series of dummy organizations.
It's the same thing with purchasing fertilizer. If you purchase a certain amount of it, it raises suspicion from the authorities.
Here's something even more troubling. There is a way that it could be gotten completely legally, but not through a method that most people tend to check anymore. University students.
But the problem is, how much do they use?
Well, considering how many people were hurt, it's got to be a very substantial amount of gas to not just dissipate.
Yeah, and it isn't just, and the thing is, the Tokyo one, they didn't use all that much, to my knowledge. It was, maybe at most, a liter's worth? Spread among several people on multiple trains?
There's a little map in that article I posted from New York Times, and it looks like the majority of the attacks were around Mosul.
Yeah.
That would tend to suggest that their stockpiles are more in the east, near that area. Because I imagine that can't be easy to move.
9 liters. Carrying 3 bags.
What I still don't understand from all of this is what's the actual reaction? Because I just saw Donald Trump's statement video upon the attack, and afterwards the reporters asked him if it crossed the red line, like the line that Obama established before when that he said he would send troops in if they Assad used gas. And Trump said it crossed many lines, but that sounded more like a diversion rather than committing to anything. He just said it crossed many lines that are bad.
Well, we're talking about a pretty precarious situation here, to be completely honest.
I mean, for one thing, the U.S. is already really in deep shit with Syria because we're trying to topple that regime. So now we're going to turn around and send troops against the other guy?
Yeah.
Hold on, gents. I have a call, and I will be listening, but taking the call.
No problem. Make sure to mute.
Wasn't there like a woman who says like the U.S. would take charge if the UN doesn't recognize this as a, what was it? What did she call it? I can't remember much.
Human rights violation,
details.
Attempted genocide.
Yes.
A half dozen different words she used.
Okay, my problem though is maybe this is just my isolationism talking, but the U.S. has no business being in Syria anyway.
I'm not opposed to being a more isolationist nation when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I mean,
I'm just saying we don't really have a reason to be there. I think the only reason we were there was to topple Assad in the first place.
Yeah, and that's not our goal anymore. Our goal now is to try and get ourselves out of the crap.
But the Arab Spring has shown how well that works. Is there anything else that
other than
can be said about this particular topic? I mean, I don't really have anything else beyond it. I mean,
well, unfortunately, I missed it because I was at work today, so I missed all the.
It's sickening, but it's hardly surprising.
At this point, again, the sad thing is the state of the world. ISIS, Muslim terror, Islamic terrorism. It's du jour at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say stop trying to intervene in any way, shape, or form, even with drones or bombing runs. Just let Russia foot the bill. They're pretty intent on saving the Assad regime. Why are we even caring? Just let them do it for us.
Russian collusionist.
Of course!
Russian scum! That's my best Tipo woman voice, whatever.
It's the never-ending story.
Okay, so are we putting?
Okay. Yeah. Next topic.
Next topic, Spot.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic we have listed today. Pepsi getting every social signal wrong in one advertisement.
Why is this even news?
I have context to this, but
it's because it has to do with the Kardashians. That's why.
For the benefit of the hangout, Spot, can you please elaborate?
I'm eating. I'd rather not.
Well, I'll elaborate then. All right, so you've got this commercial with Kendall Jenner, and it's a whole bunch of social justice warriors just doing their psyched out thing with a line of police out there. You've also got a Muslim woman who is drawing like a logo or something, which makes no sense whatsoever. She's following the Quran. You're not allowed to make graven images and whatnot. It's not graven images. It's something else in Islam.
Iconography, I believe.
You're not allowed to draw human beings. You can only draw like patterns.
Well,
Okay.
Well, there is a serious contradiction here then, because she's a photographer, and photography, by definition, is drawing with light.
Also, she's a woman and a Muslim. Why is she even allowed outside the home?
And she has a nose ring.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
What floor does one get?
She must be.
Well, I don't think that's rooftop worthy. Maybe 9th floor.
The ninth.
I'd give it a good balcony on the 8th floor.
Okay.
Actually,
the first thing I would like to note about the commercial, though, before it is far more civil than anything that you've ever seen on TV. So they got it completely wrong from the word go.
Yeah,
well, that's the whole point of the propaganda stuff.
You guys know that
the protesters are peaceful.
I will say that there is one potentially beneficial moment in this, and once we've done all the discussion of like what the video actually is, which apparently it's a sexy photo shoot in parts too, and a bunch of artists.
Some wonderful, sexy pictures of Pepsi cans.
Well, there is something that I noticed. That is, you have to know about the Kardashians. They have been accused of appropriating black culture, specifically Kylie Jenner, not Kendall. Kendall just does her own thing.
Can you elaborate?
She tends to get a lot of spray tans to look darker, and use fashion that you would expect more from, I don't want to say the hood, but from black women.
So does she need her?
Of course. No. But to get on with my point before sorry to cut you off. What I get from the ad is that they're trying to sort of imitate a Black Lives Matter rally, and they're using as like the head spokesperson / model for the ad.
The same thing I was thinking.
A family / person that's been associated with appropriating what black culture, which is a big no-no in SJW circles.
So the circle of wrong is getting deep.
Okay.
It's getting to meta levels.
Yeah. So here's the one thing that's right. Like you were saying, it is imitating a Black Lives Matter rally, but the suggested appropriate action, which people who actually pay attention to these articles, is that it's about time that we give a cop a Pepsi. I don't know if that's going to work with Black Lives Matter. I think the hatred is...
What color is the can?
Blue.
I don't know. It's at 2
What
minutes.
What color is the can?
It's a blue.
They did multiple
Pepsi
cans.
can.
It's a blue can, isn't it?
Oh.
Blue cans matter.
Wait. Doesn't it also have some traces of white in it as well? Like some white lines in the logo?
There's not so they're giving away stuff that doesn't have enough melanin in it.
But there's also red and silver.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Right.
Ultimately, the question you can ask yourself is this: what is the main focus of the commercial? Well,
To virtue signal. Because this commercial is never generating any profit.
Wait, no. It is the Pepsi can itself. Isn't that appropriating Western culture?
Ooh.
Well, okay. I'll tell you what they were going for with this commercial. They're trying to do a whole unity cross-aisle thing because that usually gives people the warm fuzzies. But because they tried to...
Well, this is obvious. I was just being sarcastic.
That kind of shit hasn't worked since the 80s. I'm sorry.
Well, to
It works for
elaborate...
younger people.
Sorry. I was going to say that the virtue signal is also very pointless because Pepsi's, I would imagine, like target market is probably very right, or just the average blue collar family.
Well,
And they're virtue signaling, which tells me they're trying to. The purpose of the ad was A, to virtue signal, and B, to appeal to younger markets.
well, no, actually, exactly what they're doing. They're imitating Coke again. Because Coke is virtue signaling, so therefore they have to virtue signal.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'll
it's
give
the
you that
90s all over.
It's the Cola Wars again.
Right, but the only thing that's going to win is Pepsi Max.
What about Crystal Pepsi?
I don't drink Cola ever at all. Sorry, I don't. I just don't do it.
You really should.
You don't want to appropriate Western culture.
I drink root beer and Dr. Pepper exclusively.
White people don't have a culture.
I don't drink soda at all.
So no, I will not drink cola because cola just tastes like slightly sugared piss water.
That's what makes it so good.
I know.
Okay, we're getting lost in the mud, people. Let's
Yeah,
move.
we are.
Let's move.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. It's generic, trying to pander to the SJWs, but marketing still doesn't know that there is no way to pander to them because they find the racism. They find the thing wrong with it. Even if you meet every single one of their standards perfectly, they will move the goalposts. The best option is actually to make fun of them.
Serious question then. What are the odds of this backfiring badly in the coming years?
100%. It already backfired.
Yeah, I think we've had the.
I mean to MTV level.
I think we've had the prediction here. They're gonna say it's cultural appropriation because the white girl is the spokesperson for the rally.
Well, okay.
She's no longer white. She identifies as black. If Rachel.
Well, already. Okay, you guys know that kind of larger black woman, I think on CNN, who's really loud, who's always very pro Black Lives Matter?
Simone Sanders?
Yes, Simone Sanders. I actually watched a clip of her yelling about this, because I think all she has is yelling and shouting for voices. That's it. She was basically saying that the impression I was getting, reading between the lines, is they should have shown people getting beaten by the cops, man. That would have been better. Really? You want a marketing company to show cops beating people up? That's going to sell soda.
It's a fucking soda commercial. What the hell? Why the hell would you ever want violence just to... Why? I'm astonished by her stupidity.
Okay, wait, I know exactly. Have you had a long, hard day of beating the utter shit out of everybody you're trying to arrest? Enjoy an ice-cold can of Pepsi and just take a load off.
I actually take a valuable lesson. Well, not lessons. The lesson's an incorrect term. Insight from the commercial. If you see what's going on, they're all jumping and dancing all happily, and they conquer the police through giving them soda. Which basically, isn't that like the SJW not Ethiopia, Eden?
Utopia.
Utopia, there we go.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought that maybe...
Isn't that the ultimate SJW dream to see that sort of thing? Obviously,
the SJW dream is there are no cops. Because they're all dead.
Well, the fantasy in this commercial, though, might be that the SJWs are winning over the cops because the cop, smiles after it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you burn down a couple of cops' towns, they kind of hate your guts for at least a generation.
Well, let's be honest here. SJWs they say they want cops to leave. But in reality, if cops leave, what do they have left to complain about that's actually real?
Well, they could start talking about, serious inner-city crime that's affecting them now.
Please, they won't talk about any foreign things.
By the way, if anyone's interested, I actually found the two verses that actually state, you can't do images of people with souls. And angels also don't enter houses with pictures or dogs.
What? Okay.
I'm not kidding.
No, he's referring back to the Muslim woman in the ad.
Okay. So what you're telling me is the Quran is cray-cray. Got it.
Right. I just didn't want people to say I'm baseless, but then I remembered I'm in the Deplorable Batcave, so...
Well, the point behind not being able to draw anything that's alive is because you're not supposed to worship other gods. So and that goes to like making idols or worshipping paintings.
We are deviating somewhat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just clarifying.
Let's get back. Okay. I'm turning the vehicle. I'm pulling the brake. Turning the vehicle. We're going to scoot along from Pepsi.
So, do we have anything more to add on the Pepsi commercial itself?
I predict full MTV within a week.
I predict a boycott coming from both the crazy anti-SJWs and the alt-right and the SJWs at the same time, and we'll see probably a significant profit loss for them in the coming years.
Sorry, I said it wrong. I predict a riot.
So we're going to see new Pepsi in about a month. Got it.
Yep.
I'm just going to drink Coke just to spite them. Just like drinking in front of a Pepsi company. Just like...
I'll just keep being the racist bastard that I am by drinking milk.
My last comment is, before we move on, is that I wish I could be a fly on the wall in the Pepsi boardroom meeting saying who was the dumbass that decided this was a good idea. And when they drag in said dumbass and they fire him, I wish to be that fly.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly who's going to get the axe. It's going to initially be the VP of marketing who's going to push it down to some upper managers, and the managers are going to push it to some poor low-level manager who probably all they did was make sure that the checks were being paid.
It'll be a fucking white male.
What happens if it's not, though?
Also, I am using my
terms.
sexism to stay with a male in charge of all this.
You're assuming the gender, are you?
Spot,
I'm checking all the
Spot, next topic.
Okay, yeah, we're getting way off track. Okay, now
It's
come
true.
on.
Also, Spart, before you do that, Miss, if you want to switch places with me or AK, I will mute for a little bit. Just send it in the chat and I will step out. I will spectate, rather.
Goodbye, collectively unconscious. We knew you well.
somewhat, maybe, not really.
Okay, AK said he can switch.
Okay.
All right. So, next topic. Steve Bannon. That's
I kind of cheated here because I
have nothing on this again.
I touched upon the topic a little bit earlier with Seawall. Basically, to put some background to this, the mainstream media is reporting that Steve Bannon has been removed from the National Security Council, is it?
Yes. yes.
No. He was removed from some.
No, it was National Security
yeah.
Advisor.
Okay.
National.
I can give you the full backstory. Basically, the mainstream media is claiming that he's being demoted and reshuffled, when in actuality, the entire plan was basically after Flynn left, I believe Bannon kept the seat warm and did a few things that was pre-planned. He did it from a different position than he was originally. He's basically reversing everything Rice did when she was in that position.
Yes, and he's forming the seat for someone named H.R. McMasters.
Yes, General McMasters. He was head of what was it? He was head of West Point. Apparently, kind of a long-term career general. So, yeah.
Head of West Point. That's about as prestigious as it gets.
Well, when I was touching this a bit earlier with Seawall, it turns out that he was given the job temporarily.
Yeah, it was always temporary.
And the media were just ripping it as some sort of indication of dissent in his choice of advisors. What I'm thinking is that Trump could use these as opportunities to fuck with the media. Yeah, like saying something. John Q. Public, he will no longer be my director of widgets. He is now the senior manager of widgets. But he'll only say that after they've reported that he's been demoted or has resigned in his position. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Okay, good. I've been trying to figure it out. I can't see a microphone indicator on my Hangouts for me, so I've been trying to figure out what was going on.
No, and the icon on the bottom right corner, there should be like a green bar,
green dots, but it's working. Whatever. So let's keep scooting along.
Okay.
AK, do you want to add to this?
We're talking about Steve Bannon.
Yep.
Yeah.
All I've heard is that I keep hearing is that Steve Bannon, I think from like a report on what he said himself, is that he was basically there to talk to secure things about some intelligence leaks or whatnot, and now that that's over with, he's done with being on the Security Council.
He will still hold security clearance, though. That's just kind of from what
I thought it said that they revoked his clearance.
No, he's still going to hold on to his clearance, but it makes sense for someone so high up to have it in the first place.
Oh, okay.
He may not be handling it regularly, but he may come across it at some point. Some guy who just does let's just say does maintenance on the classified systems for the government, like a tech guy or something. He needs clearance, even though he's technically not supposed to look at any of it. He has it just in case that incident crops up where he sees it.
That still sounds a little sketchy. Like you're not supposed to look at any of it, but just in case you have it anyway. That sounds kind of sketchy.
Well, wouldn't it be better to have somebody who should technically be able to see it, but their job doesn't require them to see it, and then they accidentally come across and they're not supposed to see it? Kind of a covering all bases thing. It's the world of secrets. Welcome to the world of secrets. It's annoying.
Well, I know, and it kind of is irritating, but I can agree to a certain point about he's up high up anyway, so he's probably allowed to a certain point. But I think there should be like a gatekeeping, like this directly involves like my job, so I should be able to see this versus other stuff that may be on a need to know for the National Security Council. Because you're thinking, because when I think about it, I think about Susan Rice. I'm like, she was able to ask about confidential information and then like leak that shit. I'd prefer the people who are supposed to have it.
Well, that's what the system is supposed to work with. I actually do know a bit about the security clearances just from things I've read and just kind of heard over the years from other individuals. Basically, it works like this. If you start asking for information you're not supposed to have with security clearance, you're not for your job, you're going to lose it pretty quickly. It turns out something like 90% of all the people that have security clearance in the United States will never see a document that is classified in any way, shape, or form through their entire career of having it. It is literally a just-in-case kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, let's put it this way. My father was this is semi-related, because my father was a mechanic in Vietnam, but because he had to work on planes, he had security clearance.
Yeah.
Just because he would have to be able to see documentation on any planes that he would have to work on, so which may or may not have been top secret.
All right.
Not to say he ever did, but
yeah, it's one of those things that it's easier to have a one-size-fits-all solution for something this complex, and just keep an eye on everyone who has it. It's easier to kind of keep all the ducks in a row.
Well, I just hope the Trump team can keep all their ducks in a row, because apparently Obama couldn't.
64D chess.
No, it's 64-bit D chess.
Wait, going back to the gassing thing a little bit. It's who posted said that the Wikipedia has instructions on how to make sarin. That's kind of
no. They said that they talked about some generalities of sarin, including its shelf life. That under ideal circumstances, with the right ingredients, it can last about 5 years in storage.
Okay, guys, we can go over this in the Batcave later. Yeah. We're on the next topic.
Yes.
Okay.
So, any more to add on Steve Bannon?
Oh, another thing, like I was in lunch about 10:45ish when I heard the news. Like they reported that quickly but inaccurately, as well as Steve Bannon got demoted. Steve Bannon was removed.
Oh, you mean like every other major
Yes.
news outlet that does it? They say it first and report later.
Yes.
Yeah, they're basically shotgunning it. They're hoping something sticks, but the problem is, apparently Trump is in an M1 Abrams tank, and all they have is a pop gun.
They have the M1
He's gonna love it a lot.
You're going to get tired of winning. Very fake news.
We're not tired of winning yet.
Well, they can't. It's not about being tired of winning. It's just they keep handing it on a silver platter.
I know. No, not a silver platter, a golden platter, to be honest.
Look, winning is winning. If they want to hand us the game, the set, and the match, I'll take.
Yeah.
Okay. Next topic's that.
Yeah.
Okay, next. All right. I shall open up the floor. We have 2 remaining set topics, and then my usual wrap-up shenanigans.
Yes.
2 remaining topics, whichever one you want to perform first. Susan Rice in general, or California SJW meltdown.
The SJW meltdown, I don't even know if she's an SJW, so I would vote just not to cover it. It's just a generic woman going crazy on YouTube. That's what I see it as.
They both break down into them both being cunts of some sort. It's just one that had a very high up clearance of being a cunt.
Yeah, the Rice situation, from what I'm understanding, so I'll kind of play the layman of what I know right now. Apparently, a couple of Republican congressmen who have looked at the documents that was the supposedly incidental surveillance of Trump and his team. It says it doesn't read like it doesn't read like incidental surveillance. It reads like a private investigator's report. And if you know anything about private investigators, those reports are designed to dig up dirt on people.
But is that a smoking gun?
Until the information's either released or there are official charges,
The only thing that got my attention about this was that apparently she's never appeared worried before. She's never lost her composure before, whereas now apparently she had.
Yeah, go ahead, Commoner.
Collectively, yeah. Apparently she was not as strong as she was when the Benghazi situation was blowing up.
Well, I would say is I'm not surprised if it ends up being proven that it was targeted spying. I would say I'm not surprised at all that Democrats would
she would be the fall guy or fall girl.
Right. Yeah. Can it make that jump to Obama from her?
Well, finishing my point is back to the long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the IRS scandal where they used audits to target Republican-leaning.
Well, not only that, they denied them. They basically gummed up the works so they couldn't even get charity status. There are some thinking that if those organizations were allowed to be charities and do their political stuff, that Obama would have lost 2012.
I'd like to hear what Steph's point was going to be.
No, that's what I was going to... Well, not losing 2012, but I was going to say I'm not surprised because it's already been proven that they're willing to use government agencies to do dirty tricks against the Republicans.
I mean, if this actually comes out and evidence is released, the Watergate scandal is nothing compared to this. Because in the Watergate scandal, all Nixon did was basically not release a few tapes of shit he said in his office. Whereas with this one, they used government resources. This would be a scandal that would wipe the Republicans clear of the Watergate scandal forever. You could never bring it up without the bring up. Well, what about Obama? That kind of stuff.
But in order for that to happen, it actually has to connect to Obama personally.
Eventually,
action on his part.
It's the Russian conspiracy of where there's smoke, there's fire. But in this case, there's actually smoke, and there's a good chance that Susan Rice got the information, and then a bunch of other Obama staffers did. How likely is it that Obama himself was not a part of that?
But even if that's all true, what is the likelihood that evidence can be found to make a direct link?
Well,
I'm not obviously as familiar with U.S. law as you guys are, but isn't there some sort of immunity for an outgoing president anyway?
It's called executive privilege, but I believe it can be overridden with actual charges and things like that. The thing is, all they would need to basically sink Obama, they just need one lower-level person who's been left as the bag man with some corroborating evidence to support their story.
But what's more likely, though? What's more likely? Is it likely that this theoretical possibility of charges being brought to Obama would ensue, or that
honestly
that Susan is actually shitting herself now because she's aware of the possibility that she would be the scapegoat?
Okay,
and she would take all the blame.
Let me ask you something. Do you think any of the Obama staffers that were high level, like Susan Rice, do you think any of them have the loyalty to take a bullet for Obama, or do you think they're just as scummy as he is?
Well, probably not. But given some of the outrageous shenanigans from WikiLeaks, she would probably be a bit too scared to, and rightly so, to tackle on those higher up than she is.
Well, what if she's offered immunity?
Well, there's the additional problem of her, suffering,
Cars' brakes can still fail.
You've got to.
I was going to say, like, stitches get stitches.
You've got to realize, though.
She could have accidentally choked to death while getting 3 shots in the back of her head.
Exactly. Yeah. And mugged whilst her handbag is untouched.
Hold on, you guys. You also have to realize that ideologically, the people on the left view it almost religiously. So if she sees this as something that, if it gets attached to Obama, it will forever damage the Democrat Party's reputation, which it should, she may well take the bullet rather than let it pass on.
Yeah, true.
That's exactly why I believe this will never. Well, it may actually have greater than Watergate implications. It will never be as infamous as Watergate, because first of all, the media is controlled by the Democrats. And
but we have Fox
as you
News.
said, they protect their brand.
But Fox News is full of rape.
But okay, here's a counterpoint to the media argument. What if they find concrete proof that the media colluded and received these documents, and now they are under serious federal investigation? That they lose their FCC licenses, and that they are literally not able to broadcast.
Hallelujah.
Wait, to understand what you're saying that it passed to Susan Rice, and from there it passed to the media to leak damaging events about Trump to lower his poll numbers.
Yeah, that would be
or his voter turnout.
Well,
do you think the media would actually report that?
No.
Yes.
What I'm saying is basically because they'd be put under certain investigations, they could be put under gag orders so they can't talk about it at all, and then other media sources who are talking about it will be able to go forward with it. Because if they're under major investigation, they have to be. They have.
Tinfoil hat time.
Yeah.
Those who are carrying out the investigations, can they be relied upon to carry out those investigations impartially?
Probably not.
Added tinfoil hat time. If it reaches the media corporations, do you think the deep state, which is all the people that stay in their government jobs election after election, will let it go through? I mean, the media is the spokesperson for the Democrats, and if it's directly, it ends up directly in their lap. The hot potato ends in their lap. Do you think I'm going full Alex Jones? Do you not think the Illuminati will protect them?
Damn it! They're turning the investigation gay.
The problem is there are so many eyes on the deep state now that they're running out of moves. They're getting boxed in. If they make the wrong move, protect the wrong person, that gives Trump the ability to go in there with a crowbar and start cracking a few skulls, start removing these people. They literally, the deep state has so much crap they've got to deal with right now, especially with Vault 7, that they barely have enough clout to protect their own, let alone people on the outside.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Vault 7,
Vault 7.
go ahead.
Okay, it's Apprentice White House edition.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Well, going back to Vault 7 and a little bit less tinfoil hatty, it seems like the Intelligence Committee is in a bit of a civil war right now. There seems to be a minority of
a civil war within itself, or with Trump?
No, within itself. Some of the intelligence community are leaning towards Obama administration beliefs and whatnot, and then others are probably a more minor group are not appreciating it, and they might possibly leak any information they could get to something like
the thing
WikiLeaks and Vault
is,
7.
I would think that the rank and file guys, they're probably not ideologically driven. It's the upper echelons that are the ideologues. And the problem is, if they can't control their analysts, they're useless. If they can't do anything, if they literally, because the thing is, these high up guys, they have access to information, but
how do you
ask the wrong person?
How can you say that with any degree of certainty? How do you know that analysts aren't ideologically driven as well, and ideologically driven to support the Democrats?
I just posted a link with actual video where the CIA applauds them, and the left has gone crazy with it. It's old news, though, from January, saying that Trump, spiked the punch, put his own people in there. But there is a division in the CIA because they were applauding quite, vigorously.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, Blippity, the reason why I'm saying that Trump probably has more of the rank and file, I'm kind of basing it as an extension of the military guys. The people going into the CIA, probably somewhat of a similar mindset to the U.S. military guys. They're just more skilled in certain aspects.
You mean in a way that
they're more likely to be a patriot.
Idealistic.
Yeah, they're more of a
They
patriot.
haven't been tainted and corrupted by the system.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, basically they are still not all of them. I'm sure there's plenty of the ideologues floating around, But the thing is, a good analyst lives and dies on protecting America first. If they can't do their job, they don't work there anymore, and they effectively get blacklisted, and they're screwed when it comes to work. So they will go wherever they will. The ones that are patriots are going to side with Trump. The ones that are worried about their jobs, that's a bit harder to say, but I think the majority of them would side with Trump for one very important reason. Trump is the highest level boss in all of this. He snapped if he has even half of what people are theorizing he has in the forms of silver bullets, these guys probably don't want to be in that. They probably want to be on the side that's firing the silver bullets, just because that's going to be a machine gun. It's going to be everywhere. So many people are going to go down. It's going to be scary.
Okay. Well, I think it behooves us to see what happens in the coming days to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say on the topic.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, if it turns out that there is media connections, it's going to get buried by the media themselves, i.e. they're not going to report it and let it go away.
Well, the thing is, at that point, it's not the ideologues of the media companies that take power, it's the lawyers. And the lawyers will be doing the whole, don't talk about this, whatever you do not goddamn talk about this.
Exactly, they're going to bury it. They're not going to report it.
Yeah, they won't report it, but the thing is, Trump will be doing his work around the media, reporting it, and then he'll actually use that weakness of the legal departments of saying, why aren't they reporting this? They claim they're unbiased news sources. Why aren't they taking the criticism? Why aren't they owning up to their mistakes? And thus burying them even harder. It's a no-win scenario for them.
Okay, guys. Spark, next topic.
Well,
Closing topics.
Yeah, we exhausted topics we were planning on going through.
Yep.
Marvel Comics and the social justice warriors disappearing out of it from the sales. I think that was our.
I don't think we're going to have enough time to go through all
Yeah.
that.
We're
approaching an hour.
Have anybody really agree to go on it?
Yeah. Basically, what the nerds predicted, that comic sales would drop, and that the corporate guys who want to make money are slowly taking over. Yeah, that's what's happening. The writers are going to lose power, and the corporate guys will be taking over the stories.
I have one thing to say to this.
Hate to say I told you so.
But now, I present you our closing segment, which will be known as the winning or cringing corner.
Damn.
So, I've got a 45 and a glass of scotch. Which one am I going to be...
He's giving us winning or cringing. We have a choice in the matter, or you're giving us both?
I have 3 articles I pulled up.
Okay.
My vote is for winning.
My vote is for winning too, because I'm not tired yet.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find winning.
I was going to say, with my luck, we're going to get cringe.
Damn, Spartacus, don't tell us winning or cringing if all you got is cringe.
Thanks for offering us a choice, just like Obamacare.
That's okay. I forgot to post that video of the lady,
But here's our 3 potential topics. Topic number 1. Swedish soccer hooligans wear Muslim niqabs to get around newly imposed mask ban.
All right, next one.
Next one.
Come on.
That's in the interesting pile. Next.
Yeah.
Villanova student shaves her head to confront hair privilege.
Yep.
That's going in the lol cow pile.
Oh my god, we have to get to the root of that problem.
Oh, get out, Blippity. You're done.
No,
get
let's
out.
get the last one. Come on, guys.
And the
Let's get to the last one.
And the last one is CNN's favorite lolcow, Don Lemon. There is an effort to tar and feather Susan Rice.
That's really tempting right now.
Yeah, there is an effort. Yeah, there is an effort.
Spot, I'll give you this one. You brought up 3 juicy cringes.
Speaking of Sweden, why didn't we include the 3 Swedish women cops and the 1 migrant?
Oh, right.
Oh.
I'm not aware of that.
No.
We should have. You know what? Yeah, I think we got time because we started late.
We're only at 50 minutes of recording.
Listen, hey guys, this is another cringe article. Lindsay Lohan hits beach in burqa. Burkini.
Son of a bitch!
My eyes are burning.
During Thailand vacation. So.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Maybe it's all that coke, and I don't mean the drink.
Quick question: does Lindsay Lohan look attractive at all anymore? And does the burkini kind of help us?
No.
Give me a second, I'll go look it up.
No on both counts.
No.
Bikini makes anybody look.
Burkini.
I say we talk about the 2 Swedish cops.
The 3 females. Yeah. I've actually seen this video from another YouTuber. I can't remember who. Yeah. Basically, what happened is these 3 Swedish cops are coming to deal with some crazy Muslim, because it's always a crazy Muslim.
No. They were being culturally enriched.
And it wasn't a Muslim; it was an Asian.
With a fist to the face.
Yes, because Muslim is the new Asian.
Don't make me pull out my spade and show you what a spade is, okay? I'll show your face what my spade looks like, up close and personal.
Let's get to the...
a crazy Muslim, people called the cops, and 3 Swedish female cops showed up. Because Sweden is so cucked, they don't give them tasers, they don't give them pepper spray, they don't even give them sticks.
Or guns.
What do they have?
Nothing.
They're small fists that are not capable of dealing with the average guy.
Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna link the video.
Small fist is not necessarily detrimental. I mean, we do have the God Emperor after all.
Okay. This guy has a foot on them, and he's a dude. They're 3 women.
Isn't he a child though?
No, he was a grown-ass man.
No, isn't he a 36-year-old child?
No, he's a grown-ass man. So basically what happens is they get smacked around a little bit until another migrant actually comes in and tackles the fucker.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't as glorious as based Scooter Man, but...
Stick man.
I linked the video of it in the chat if you wanted to go over it. So,
for people who don't know who Base Stick Man and Base Scooter Man is, he ran a attacker with a scooter.
Glorious.
Well, at least he's not like Islam's based semi-man.
Oh.
But maybe we can get there.
Well, what I would say is Sweden is taking the hint from the grandfather of one of the 3 home invaders in Texas that said they having an AR-15 was unfair. So Sweden obviously took all the guns away from the women and tasers to make the playing field fair to the migrants to beat up the cops.
Yeah. Oh, a minor tangent that I think would actually be funny that will actually short circuit the brains of SJWs. Well, SJWs in general. You know how SJWs want to say, "Oh, women can be cops too." Then but also Black Lives Matter. The cops shouldn't use guns. Well, it actually turns out because women on average are smaller than guys, they are more likely to use their guns if they're cops.
Oh my goodness, this video is
exactly. They were making the playing field even.
Yeah.
There's something gives women something to protect themselves and others.
Well, guns were dubbed, at least with revolvers, they were called the Great Equalizer for a reason.
Yeah, yep. It's the last force a police officer wants to use. Hear this out, Black Lives Matter. The last thing a police officer wants to use against another person.
Yep.
I think we should move to the cringe topics / end the show topics.
Yes.
All right, Swedish soccer Muslims, Villanova student, or Don Lemon being Don Lemon.
The second one.
I like my. Well, let's put it to a vote. I like the sound of the football one, so that's one vote.
I like the second one.
Villanova shaves head.
Yes.
How many people? Okay, how many people want shaved head?
Let's go with number 2, shaved head. I I feel a good shit coming on. So
Okay, that's 2 votes for Shaved Head, and third topic is Don Lemon. How many votes for Don Lemon?
I want Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
2.
Okay, so it's a tie between.
Well, we'll try to.
I will say Don Lemon between the two of those.
okay.
Oh,
God, I
Don
want
Lemon's
to
always
talk
a good
about-
laugh. That idiot.
okay.
It's a very short article, so we can get through it really quick.
Okay, it's the Don Lemon one.
All right, so CNN's Don Lemon. There is an effort to tar and feather Susan Rice because of course there is.
She's doing it to herself.
Well,
What
no,
the
no,
hell
no.
are you talking about?
I would argue it's justified for
That
things she's
is
done.
Let me finish the bloody thing before I count it. So apparently he said this Tuesday night, so technically last night, as of recording. Don Lemon said that there was an effort to tar and feather President Barack Obama's National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, over reports she unmasked members of Donald Trump's transition team. Lemon said, so far, we've seen no evidence that she's done anything improper, and it seems like an effort to tar and feather her to try and make a lie a truth, the original tweet by the president. Former Obama administration green job czar Van Jones agreed that Susan Rice was being tarred, feathered, and burned alive for doing her job in a good way. That's the whole article.
Fucking Don Lemon, man.
Mr. Don Lemon, can we blink twice if they're holding a gun to your head? We know there is no way you believe this bullshit. You just blink twice and we'll notice in the choppers to extract you. We'll save you, don't worry. We'll deprogram you. We'll give you all the red pills you ever want. Please, just call us. We'll save you.
Your denial of reality disappoints me, Don.
Everything
But it
is
amuses me also.
Remember, he's the guy who said he didn't think it was evil when
Well,
the 3 black people kidnapped
who was it that said that only they should be in control of information?
CNN.
Wait,
No,
Was it CNN?
Yeah, I think it was CNN.
Well, now you know why.
I can't remember. Was Don Lemon the same person who interviewed Morgan Freeman? Said he was getting tired of the Black History.
No. That's someone else. Don Lemon's a black guy, I believe.
Yeah.
Or am I getting people mixed up?
No, wait. Can you repeat that again, please?
I thought Don Lemon was the person who interviewed Morgan Freeman and said he was tired of the Black History narrative.
Yes, he actually was.
Oh.
How did he go from that, like he was tired of discussing Black history, to this?
No, it was Morgan Freeman that said he was sick of it. Don Lemon didn't say anything before.
Oh, I thought he said he was tired of talking to
Sorry,
He said,
I'm getting people mixed up. I thought Don Lemon was a black guy.
Oh, shit.
Don Lemon-
Don Lemon is the black
Don
guy.
Lemon is.
No, it was a Jewish guy that interviewed.
No.
Freeman.
No.
And here come the Jews.
Guys, there was 2 people who interviewed.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Two.
There's more than one interview. My
Two.
bad. I am very fake news. Got it? You guys happy?
My
now?
bad. I just
You're gonna
couldn't
love
remember.
it a lot.
Okay, so it was an interview with Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, what level of denial does it take to be Don Lemon? Like, where is he on that scale?
Full indoctrination.
Actually, okay, level of denial for Don Lemon, there are 200 genders level denial.
Don't
Isn't
remind
it
me.
like Pokemon? They keep adding 50 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's almost like the left's version of Tucker Carlson without his own show, because like he has this look like, I don't believe what you're saying, but about completely reasonable things.
Uncle wants to add something to the chat.
Yeah, well, go ahead and chime in if you want.
Okay, Uncle the Peanut Gallery. Speak.
Crickets.
Yeah,
Uncle,
that-
you may need to change your mic settings and everything. Google had mine messed up, so you might need to go into your settings and change stuff.
Maybe try dropping out and then coming back in.
And that didn't. He may not be able to hear us if he turned his mic on. That's what happened to me. I turned my mic on, and then for some reason I have my settings as the
Drop it in
same.
the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Don Lemon is being Don Lemon. What else is new, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other 2 topics, although I think everybody else was more interested in Villanova shaving her head.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. A Villanova student claims that shaving her head helped her confront her hair privilege, as well as society's oppressive gender norms. I'm not a big fan of being oppressed, and I don't like it, said Yvonne Nguyen in a Facebook Live video where she shaved her head on camera to Beyonce songs. Oh,
I have one question. She feels oppressed, but she also feels she has privilege because she has hair.
So she's normal. She's normal.
She's just crazy.
So let's define hair privilege, because
we're not done.
Oh, yeah.
Let me finish the article first, then we can.
Oh, I thought you were finished. Sorry.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Uncle Sparta's just going to finish the article, and then you can add your comment to the last article.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Just go ahead.
In an op-ed for the student newspaper, Nguyen said that the oppressive societal gender norms had made her feel like she was only a true girl if her hair was long, straight, and silky. Shaving my head enabled me to be reflective of ways society forces me to conform to labels that I didn't choose, she wrote. Shaving my head liberated me, as I allowed myself to be faithful to my values and genuine self. At the same time, I'm also very privileged, she added in her Facebook video, explaining that her bald head was a show of solidarity for people with cancer or alopecia?
Alopecia.
Yeah, that's the hair falls out.
I would like to remember the privilege I have in terms of being able to grow my hair out, she wrote in the accompanying post. Dude, this is awesome that you're doing this, one of her friends commented as she shaved her head. I'm saving all this money so I can go to grad school and save the world, she said in the video when her haircut was complete. Nguyen said she chose to shave her head on St. Patrick's Day, also celebrated St. Baldrick's Day, where people shaved their head in support of childhood cancer research. Then she posted a Facebook Live has gained more than 1,400 views. Reflecting on her decision nearly 3 weeks later, Nguyen said that going bald was part of a choice to be a woman for others. One must forego some of their undeserved privileges to provide justice for others. Are you willing to shave?
Quick question. Did she donate her hair to a charity?
Apparently there is nothing here about her donating her hair.
Okay, but before we get into this topic, I know Uncle wants to say something about the previous one.
Yeah, we was talking about Don Lemon a bit.
Being a bitch, yeah.
Yeah, he's at a god emperor level SJW cuck. But I did agree with him once though, which makes me hate him more about the use of the N-word in media, when reporting the story. And he was arguing with another African American and now pundit. And she was saying how the word should never be used, ever. He was like, why would we sanitize the word? I don't suggest people use it, but in context of a story, you don't sanitize the article or the story in context. So back when Obama used it because somebody else used it.
Oh dear. Former president used the N-word.
So he made a good point while sucking Obama's dick. Got it.
Yeah.
I think Don Lemon just pulled a Piers Morgan and sounded.
And I have to do it one time, just nigga, because I kept saying N-word, and I used the word like water, so part of my language. Thank
Uncle, you have no idea how much you've triggered me. Right, back to the hair.
Okay.
I have a question. It's in terms of how far this goes. So if she's removing her hair because she has privilege, wouldn't the next logical step be a mastectomy?
Wait, Spot. What's her skin color? First off, is she white?
Yeah, she's white.
Oh.
Wait, no, she's not white. She's Asian.
That's the same thing.
Yes, I know. But ethnically, she is Asian, as in. Okay, I'm going to use the term. She's Asian, as in slant eyes Asian.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's a very pale Asian.
Not as in Muslim and Britain Asian?
No, as Asian, as in chopsticks Asian.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the oppression Olympics, that's the same thing as being white.
Well, Asian, she's Ching Chong Asian. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this reminds me of another event. Well, not sort of like that. A little bit sort of like this. that broke like a few weeks ago about a guy that wanted to become a sexless alien because he didn't identify as any gender.
Sexless alien?
Yes, he was getting surgeries
terrifying.
to look somewhere between man and woman / like little gray man that you typically see from the movies.
Oh, I remember seeing
Let me.
that.
Yeah, he had his nipple,
Okay.
thus cementing.
We are off topic.
If I recall-
Okay, going back to the hair thing. That is a level of virtue signaling that is just retarded. If she did not donate her hair after cutting it, then there's absolutely no
Won't
point.
prove or disprove that she did, but there is nothing in the article that mentions it. That's all I can say.
If the article would have proudly mentioned it if she actually did, because it would have allowed her to prove that she is charitable.
It's not a mainstream site. It's Heat Street.
Okay.
Do you think that she read the article about the girl who was told you shouldn't cultural appropriate for wearing a turban, but it turns out she was a cancer survivor?
Ooh.
We got to see if that link is there.
Okay, weird factoid that I just looked up. The whole thing where she said, the whole gender stereotypes of long silky hair for women. It actually turns out that Asian women, their hair grows the fastest.
Yep, that's true.
So it's the default for them. It's what they naturally do.
I mean, I'm Asian myself. I'm Vietnamese, so I'm Asian myself. My mustache grows within 2 days after I shave it. It starts to piece back together really quickly.
2 days?
I thought Asians didn't have facial hair.
No, I'm growing a mustache and a beard, but I just shave it off all the time.
Are you going to shave it for charity?
No.
You'd have to grow it out pretty long.
Yeah.
I know.
To finish my point of the sexless alien, I was going to say that I believe that she's Asian, which makes her a minority, but it's also not a what's it called, a victim. So what I believe is these people do is they have an inner need to be a victim. So she made up the hair privilege because at this point they make up terms whenever they need them. So she made up hair privilege to be able to virtue signal.
They always need a virtue signal.
So brave.
That's my point. She had to, so she made up the term hair privilege.
That's nice.
We're still allowed to reserve the right, like Matt said, to say that's fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
That's just fucking weird.
So does that mean bald people are the most oppressed people?
But balding is more of a male problem.
No, they're the most liberated.
It's
actually
bald, transsexual, gay, black people are the most oppressed.
You forgot fat. You forgot fat.
Oh,
and
yes,
disabled.
yes.
Don't forget those two.
The ultimate oppressed person is a gay transsexual black woman.
Fat.
Who's disabled and fat.
Yes, that is disabled and fat.
Actually, I happen to know someone like that, so yay.
I'm not surprised.
Every single one of those points is simply a social construct.
Yes, totally.
Oh God, you just caused my brain to explode.
All right, Spark, would you like to finish this up?
Well, actually, just because you are our beloved editor, I will actually continue because we have to laugh at something else. We need to get our spirits up after the shit that we've been through.
We need the laughing quota.
We need the laughing quota. So Swedish soccer
Affirmative laughing.
wear Muslim niqabs to get around the newly imposed mask ban.
Oh God, they're going to force Sweden to have an aneurysm because they won't know what to do. Do we ban the niqab or do we let them do it?
See, Spot, you just proved that they're so ashamed of what they're doing that they have to cover their faces.
Can I get a link to the article? I want to see this.
Okay, to be fair, it's Washington Post, but again,
Oh God!
The Washington Post.
Oh.
Yeah, but
In the wise words of Mark Dice, it's the Washington Compost.
I literally
that's
just said that.
paragon of virtue.
But to be fair, it was in my Twitter feed, and let's face it, this whole concept is hilarious.
Are you going to subscribe to the Washington Post since it's in your Twitter feed?
No, someone else retweeted it.
Oh crap! Their faces are all blurred.
But
that's the whole point.
British government officials thought they had the perfect solution to curtail violent behavior by masked soccer fans: ban their face coverings. The new law, passed in January and enacted in March, was supposed to prevent extremist fans from disguising all or part of their face so as to make it more difficult to be identified, according to the bill's language. The bill didn't infringe on anyone's religious rights, however. The law offers an exemption for people who cover their face for religious reasons. Well, it appears that soccer is now a religion in Sweden.
Well, we've been to Manchester, right? Isn't soccer religion there?
It's a religion all over the country.
It's a religion everywhere but America.
I know.
On Sunday, during the Stockholm Club AIK season opener against BK, fuck that, I'm not pronouncing it. Häcken. So a little bit of phlegm in there. Häcken.
The Muslims of the North.
Several dozen of AIK's most boisterous fans, known as Ultras, Ubers. Ooh.
The Ubermensch, yeah.
Exactly. Traded their masks for niqabs, the traditionally Muslim face covering that obscures the entire face except the eyes. To really rub it in, AIK's extremists also unfurled 2 gigantic banners with a message for Interior Secretary Anders Ygeman, who spearheaded the legislation. AIK's ultras mean well. We're now wearing masks for religious reasons. Freedom for ultras is the ultimate goal. The second banner continues. Thanks, Ygeman, for the loophole. The masked ultras then lit up a bunch of flares because with their faces still obscured, it was still business per usual.
No, they were acting in character. Things were going off with a bang.
Although the law was supposed to land those who wore masks to get in jail for up to 6 months, it appears the only consequence the Ultras' antics earned on Sunday was a good laugh from Ygeman. In all honesty, I thought the banner was quite funny, the politician told Swedish sports tabloid Sportsbladet. It shows AIK fans have a bit of humor. However, the relationship between some of these extremist fans and Muslims living in Sweden, here we go, hasn't been a laughing matter. In late January, several AIK Ultras, as well as Ultras from rival team... Oh, fuck. Fuck you, Sweden.
You're good.
Fuck you, Sweden.
You're good.
Stormed a train station in Stockholm to attack anyone who looked foreign. One of the attackers, who spoke to the Daily Mail under the protection of anonymity, said that the attack came in response to what they saw as ineffective policing in the face of growing crime perceived to be committed by immigrants. We feel the police are not doing their job, the Ultra said. Our wives, girlfriends, and daughters cannot feel safe in the center parts of Stockholm during the night. We feel that this is shameful for a country like Sweden, and wanted to make a statement that is not okay. Instead of attacking criminals, however, the group of about 50 people ended up targeting innocent people, many of whom were children, according to one witness. Most of the kids who got beaten were just ordinary people born and raised in Sweden, which, to be fair, doesn't mean much anymore. The train worker Johanna Brixander told the Daily Mail the hair color just happened to not be blonde. That's racist.
I've seen pictures of native Swedes that have brown hair and black hair. It depends on if they have Laplander descent or if they're from a different region of Sweden. I'm going to call bullshit on some of the claims they're making, to be completely honest.
I think that the whole point is to tar native Swedes under the same brush.
Stadium mask ban was intended to eliminate the feeling of impunity, but it may have actually complicated matters, as local police warned late last year when the bill was still being debated. It will be complicated for spectators to know where the line is between what is allowed and what is not. National Police Legal Director Lars Toneman said in September via The Local, will make it pointlessly difficult for police on the ground to decide when a mask face is due to religious conviction or when the person using it is a false pretext. Police also worry about having to subject people to religious tests in the stands to figure out who might be taking advantage of the law's loophole. The chief of the Swedish Football League, who supported the passage of the bill earlier this year, isn't worried the legislation will put anyone's constitutional rights in danger. Except the football again.
So basically, it begins in Sweden, and they will swing the farthest right of all European nations.
Oh man, I gotta tell you,
there's never been a problem in identifying the difference between someone who has religious reasons to cover the face and someone who is doing so with the intent of committing criminal acts. Oh, the irony! As Enkus told the local last year,
Why can't you do both?
In practice, it's very clear what the purpose is. Eagman, meanwhile, said he doesn't expect to see a Niqab trend as the country's soccer season progresses. He told Sports Blade he thinks Sunday's protest was a one-time event. Obviously, he doesn't know soccer hooligans very well. And not one directed against migrants, Muslims, or any other group, but just him in particular. This is a taunt, as I understand it. There are still real problems in the stands. People throwing bang snaps and snow on him, but people poking one government officials in the stands. It's not a problem. And the football club in question pulled the game in a draw.
0-0.
Yeah.
I have a prediction. Antifa will be wearing niqabs at Berkeley.
I'm gonna say I still have hope for Sweden because there's still white people there. But the day that I say, okay, it's over, let's pack up our bags, let's go, is the day that the suggestion that let's rename the country Swedenstan is an actual thing that people are considering. It doesn't even have to actually come true. Like they start considering, I'm out.
I'll tell you what, Swexit, baby. PewDiePie for God Emperor of Sweden.
No. There's only one God Emperor on Earth. He'd be a living saint of the God Emperor.
He'll be a disciple.
He'll be the 14th disciple of Jesus Christ.
Spot, would you like to finish this off?
Alrighty. So we've had tears, we've had laughter, we've had cringe tonight, as per the usual. So, with that in mind, myself and my fellow deplorables, I leave you with our final thoughts. First, starting from my left, Steph.
Don't do drugs. Only doctors can prescribe the drugs. And we do.
Bad and good.
Yeah.
AK-47.
Oh, me? Okay. My final thoughts, if you're going to shave your hair, donate it. Don't be a dumbass.
Fair enough. Lippity blop.
You're going to get tired of winning. Very tired.
That is getting late. No, I'm not tired of winning it. Seawall.
Let's see. What are my final thoughts? I'm one of those men that just wants to watch the world burn at this point.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And some others let them burn the world as they pull out the marshmallows.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Guys, when the world's burning, barbecue at my place.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Might as well turn it into a good thing at some point.
Wonderful.
I got stopped by feminists, so I backed him back.
That's a true story.
Who won that exchange? You or her?
I did.
He got the final slap.
Yeah.
He's a man, of course.
Yeah,
he used his privilege.
one thing with that barbecue at my place, steaks for everyone, and we're going to say a thank you to Vegan Gains for those steaks.
Fucking Vegan Games. Do not mention him in this stream. You fuck. I hate him so much.
Collectively?
Well, I think it's fair we give a shout out to our friend Matt Christensen and his wonderful show. We hope to see him here, and I sent him something on Twitter. As soon as you get it up, Lippity, I think you might find this one to be of production quality greater than his.
She'll do.
Well, we're at least better than CNN.
Shamelessly stealing fans away from Matt Christensen.
Well, Matt's
Very
we're going to have some of our fans over there, all 5.
Yeah, all 2 of you.
Yeah.
Uncle and Miss Malevolent.
You are allowed to unmute yourselves and contribute to at least this part of the discussion.
Thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure. I wish I had something more intelligent to say. But, yeah, don't order sushi from California.
Oh, hell
Order
man.
sushi from California? Oh, God, no.
Oh, God, why would you ever?
I would have never known Don Lemon said something real.
Yeah, me either. It pisses me off even more to agree with him. I feel the same way about him, Bill O'Reilly, and what's my boy name from the your boy from the UK?
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, Piers Morgan. That house nigga there.
Condolences, Uncle.
So.
It looks like Miss Malevolent won't be able to chat. She might be distracted at the moment.
Yeah.
So
She fell asleep or that porn.
She's not Anthony, guys. Well, maybe not soon.
Yeah.
Spot.
So I'll close out with my standard staples. Make Istanbul Constantinople again. Hashtag gas the normies, free the Keks, free Kekistan, and Chatelet by beautiful people.
Chatelet.
Chatelet.
Shall I?
Kill me now, please.